And that is all we've been doing. And our message too was very clear. Preaching peace, love, unity, and the growth of our party. And you all agree with me, we have not derailed from that. The activities of the last few days and weeks by our brothers in the opposition, ably engineered by one man who has remained a constant meddlesome interloper. And I'm talking about His Excellency Governor Wike. I have warned him in the past, but today I want to say enough is enough. I want to come up with the Spirit of God and tell him whatever has become the madness in him, whatever has become that inertia that keeps pulling him into Cross River State, I want to say enough is enough. Cross Riverians will no longer allow him to continue to cross the boundary of the line of political decency. I am aware that he has made past governors of Cross River State and so-called political actors in the Papa Disi Pikin party as his perpetual slave. But for youths like myself and the over 2-3 other million Cross-Riverians who have been liberated by Governor Ben Ayade, we want to tell him that he will have no space to cross any longer. He was here on Saturday in what would have been like the return of the Armageddons. He came to incite violence in Cross River State, but it took the maturity of our governor and our leader and the directives of my leadership when I was coming with over 500 vehicles from the north to tell our people to divert from the highway so that we don't have any conflagration of violence. It is obvious that all Governor Wike has set to do over time is to import the political cannibalism in River State politics into Cross River State. But everybody knows that we are a peaceful people. We are peace-loving. We are very decent, very civilized, with the leadership of the state headed by 2 very renowned professors. We cannot go low to the level of a governor that is almost like a motorbike out. And we want the world to know that Governor Ben Ayade, for the level of his civilization, exposure, and intellectual capital in him, cannot reduce himself to the level of a man who has the property of intellectual capacity. I have come out, like it was said, when a chameleon brings forth a child, that child is expected to act. And I shall start acting. And I shall act well. And I am using this opportunity to please appeal to the Inspector General of Police, the Chief of Army Staff, the DG of SSS, and all security agencies, that Governor Wike is from this day declared a security risk and threat to the peace of Cross River State, and he must keep off from Cross River State. That Cross Riverians shall resist his coming, and I am putting the world on notice that we are open to play decent politics, to allow the opposition play their game, but we shall not tolerate any attempt of further intimidation by whoever, by whatever name called. And Governor Wike, whatever emperor he calls himself, there is no kingdom that is an extension of his captured territory in Obiakpo extending to Cross River State. And the slaves he has here, they must behave themselves, or else they will have to join him in Port Harcourt. The people of Cross River State have spoken. A decision has been taken and a direction has been given that this election must be peaceful. And as a party, the All Progressives Congress, we align ourselves 100% with it. And like I said in the stakeholders meeting that was held a few days ago, if any member of APC is caught with any weapon, I hereby again empower the security agencies to arrest such persons. But let me not also waste time to inform the security agencies that as I speak, over 1,000 cultists, criminals, sorcerers have been brought into Cross River State in the guise of coming to do a flag up. And they are today being camped in various hotels to be moved into Ogoja Yala. I am happy that I'm from Yala local government. And our culture is that we do not allow a strange animal to be seen anywhere in any environment on election day. And that conforms with the INEC extant guidelines that there will be no movement. I therefore want to join and employ and to appeal to security agencies to please do not allow themselves to be used. Few days ago, we saw the merchant of Venice product, one Jaribe Agom, who today sits in the red chambers of the National Assembly, ably defecated, reduced to nothingness because of how he was purchased to sit in that seat. Therefore, yes, Wike has the effrontery again to tell Perseverance that the 10 billion he has spent in the past to put a senator, he can spend the same thing to put another House of Rep member. Perseverance have decided to resist it. The other time it was through the machination of institutions outside the electorate. Power, they say, belongs to the people. It is the power of one man, one vote. Thank God for INEC for coming up with the Beavers technology. I want to urge them, do not bring faulty machines. Any machine that is faulty, within 10 minutes or 5 minutes must be replaced immediately. We are aware of all the evil machination. We are aware of how Yeson Wike has been bragging, telling the whole world that INEC is in his pocket, telling the whole world that the police is in his pocket, and that is why the police could not stop him from breaking the fences of the sports club to hold that rally even against police advice. And do not forget, flag off of campaigns are done in the areas where elections should hold. That was why in our decency, on the 15th day of February, I was in Akpabio with my whole team to flag off campaign. It is on record. That was why on the 16th day of February, I proceeded to Ogoja Yala to flag off campaign for Ogoja Yala Federal Constituency. The question is, which election is holding in Calabar that Governor Yeson Wike decided to come with an army of cultists to create problems? We know they do not have the numbers and do not have anybody. It is such a shameful thing for a former governor of this state to become an ugly to a governor. That is how well the old brigade in Cross River State have reduced themselves to. But we thank Governor Benayade for liberating people like us. I was once a victim of their political oppression. Today, by the magnanimity of His Excellency Governor Benayade, myself and over 1 million youths have been liberated, and today we have a voice, and that is why I'm talking to you. But we are putting an end to all this political chicanery and all this political slavery being perpetuated by the old brigades in PDP. APC youths in Cross River State, I want to thank you for coming out in your thousands to tell Governor Yade thank you. It is time now for action. If you find any stranger in any part of Akpabio, in any part of Ogoja Yala, please do not take the laws into your hands. Report to security agencies. And I want to trust and believe that the security agencies, particularly the police, the DSS, the Army, the NSADC, will live up to their callings and be impartial. Do not support us. Stand neutral. INEC, be the fair umpire that you are not to be. Even though today your name is being woefully destroyed by Yeson Wike saying that you are in your pocket. But we do not want to believe that until the contrary is proven again the second time. And this call again is to the Chief Justice of Nigeria. My Lord, you are aware of the funny judgment that was given by one of yours, Justice Iheme Nwosu. I call on you, even though legally that review cannot be done again, but have a second look at that judgment, and you will see the shame and desecration of our judicial system by a woman who is in the Court of Appeal and is waiting to be elevated to the Supreme Court. I pray and hope that God will give me the courage to stand and move the whole Nigerians to stop any attempt to allow that woman to be elevated. There must be a political review to that judgment. And I stand with the voice today and I call on my leader, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to please call on the Attorney General of the Federation to see how a judge could come and sit down on appeal and give a judgment on a pre-election matter in an election petition outside the confines of the Electoral Act and without recourse to Section 285, subsection 13 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Section 141 of the Electoral Act. What a rape on our judiciary. What a rape on our Constitution, our Fontes Rico. It is an insult that the will of the people can no longer stand, but the deep pocket of one money misruled governor will now be what will dictate democracy. This is not a democracy I fought for as an infant, that I fought for as a youth, that I fought for as a student, that I fought for as a lawyer, and that I am fighting today as a political activist. This is not a democracy. And I stand tall today to say, it is time for action, and we'll act rightly. Yes, some Wike, you say you want to return back here on Thursday. My call to the IG is that, yes, some Wike must not step his feet in Cross River State. I will call on our youths to keep him out. It is a by-election. What is his interest? I will present to you the budget of 200 and something million, which was given by Jaribe Agom. It's already in the public clear. But I want all of you journalists to take this, and I call on the DSS to investigate because it was sent out from his WhatsApp platform. Every security agent that wants to do their work knows the source of that information, and we want it to be out so that the world will see that a young man, yes, on Wike, used the money of River State to buy and sit in the National Assembly, wants to corrupt institution of government, from INEC to DSS to Army to police and to whoever. For what? For an election of 15 months? What do you want to gain? Mr. President, sir, it is time for the AFCC to swing into action because these people are destroying our politics and this must not be allowed to happen. It is pestilential, it is diabolical, it is nonsensical, and it must be thrown into the abyss. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.